So my round 3 was against ADP Moltres. He does play the 1U, which make things kind of awkward for me. But apart from that, ADP Moltres should be an okay matchup because you can use the Gmax Rapid Flow attack and your pings to take some easy KOs on those two prizers, those Crowbats, those Dedenes, the Mawile GX. Even the Moltres or the Zacian isn't even safe because you can do 180 with the Gmax Rotor Flow using telescopic sights and the new Pessimium, and then it's only 2 more pings and it's a gunner. Um, Apart from that, this should be an okay matchup, not only because you have that Gmax Rapid Flow, but also because this is generally a rather clunky deck. It is less consistent than the original ADPZ, because this runs 4 kind of energy and only 3 energy switch. So you aren't using that altered creation on turn 2 as often, or even turn 1. Apart from that, there isn't really much to talk about, so let's just get into the game. So yeah, let's start with the game up. Waiting for his reaction, and then we'll hop into the game. We also both want to get first, so whoever wins the coin flip gets to go first. He, because he wants to use that altered creation GX as soon as possible, while I simply need to evolve my things. He wins the coin flip, so he gets to go first. He even goes on to start his one of his 2 Zacian Zacian V, which will be able to net him some more cards. Of course, that makes things even better for him. And as you can see, I am starting my Jirachi GX, which kind of starts me on the back foot already, because my bench space is rather tight using this deck, because you want those Sobbles out, you want those Urshifus out, you always want to have 2 Urshifu, and you kind of also want the Pessimian in this matchup, so you am able to Gmax Rapid Flow for 180. And yeah, of course, using Altered Creation GX, you can simply take 3 prizes on Jirachi GX, meaning I can't ever use another Dedenne, because that will simply mean boss game. Boss game, which ADP is so infamous for. My opponent here has the easy Cherish Ball for ADP, attach an energy, and can just use Intrepid Sword to get a really big hand going. My hand is okay. I am able to get down a Sobble, play a supporter, get down the Urshifu. I am going to discard both my Urshifu VMAX and a Drizzile and the boss orders, which is okay. I have Ordinary Rod to discard those. During my tournament run, I kind of found that using only 2 bosses, or having only 2 bosses in my deck really made things awkward at times. Yes, well, if you have to discard early, I only had 1 boss for the entire game, and while my opponent here was playing the Mew in his list, meaning I can't use Gmax Travel Flow as easy. So yeah, that did make things a little awkward for me at times in this tournament run. Here my hand doesn't look like much, but actually it's pretty decent. I am able to use the Ordinary Rod following turn to get those Drizzile and the Urshifu back. I have the Evo Instance to get me Drizzile, to get me a supporter. I have the Energy Spinner to get an energy, and life is okay, life is good. But as you can see here, my opponent simply has another energy in hand and has a balloon, meaning he is able to use that auto creation GX on his second turn without using any supporter or any support Pokemon. Which, I'm gonna be honest, I've played this deck, I've seen his clunkiness. It does not happen often that you can set up this easy without using any support Pokemon. So this really sets me on the back foot because I started Jirachi. He didn't use any support Pokemon, so while I am able to use the Gmax Rapid Flow on those two things in the back, I would have rather used Gmax Rapid Flow on the Dene GX or Naldigas because, well, 160 HP or 220 HP, those numbers really matter. I do have my pings, but of course, in Talion I don't run any rare candy, so those Inteleon take at least 2 or 3 turns to get out, meaning, yeah, well, generally speaking, in a quick matchup like this, I won't be able to get off more than 2 pings. And right here, I need to use my Drizzile to get an Urshifu out, which really made things awkward for me. Because while I do have a rather big hand, I have nothing really going on. I will be able to choose between the first impression attack. I keep forgetting his name, but whatever. The first impression attack or Gmax Rapid Flow. But in the meantime, I won't take any prizes, so I will be able to attack again next turn normally. But at the same time, I really need to get like a draw supporter or something like that, or a Dedenne. But even a Dedenne isn't good because then you just lose to boss game. Um, yeah. Either way, I am really behind in momentum right here. I choose to um, use what's Guild Trust. Guild Trust. That wasn't. I use Guild Trust and hope to find some pinging Italian next turn, so I could use Gmax Rapid Flow to KO this with a ping, get myself 3 prizes, and hopefully take the game from there. But yeah, my opponent's nuts. Well, him being able to keep his bench size this low really takes out a bunch of that Gmax Rapid Flow. He will be able to simply attach another energy to his active ADP, bench my Urshifu, or even, as you will see, take 3 prizes on that Jirachi, meaning I need to have another Urshifu VMAX, or he will be able to KO that next turn for game. But still, even if I am able to evolve it, I will still be very behind. In momentum, he will have taken 3 prizes, have a lot of energy on board. I should normally be able to respond taking the KO on that ADP, but then I have a fully powered Station on the bench, a fully powered Moltres on the bench, and yeah, well, things aren't looking too good from here. Here I kind of had the choice to go to just kill that active ADP, but I was thinking what comes next. So because I was already that far behind, I will top deck the Urshifu here, which is great because then I just don't lose next turn. But I still need 2 KOs after killing the ADP. So thinking ahead, I need to damage something this turn, then kill it again the following turn while also killing like a Titania or a Crobat. Either way, I was really behind. As you can see here, I have the dead hand. Not having a Sobble to evolve in the Drizzile, it's kind of awkward. I will use the Gmax Rapid Flow under the ADP, hoping to maybe find something next turn, but right now that ADP will simply be able to attack, or I think if I recall correctly, he retreats, trying to deny me those prizes, and he will attack with something else. But yeah, he has all the momentum on his side. He can simply now attack something and boss KO it next turn because I don't play in Cheryl. He can also just boss up those 2 Drizziles and take it from there. He will guaranteed win in 2 turns. And I have no way to win. Well, he won't necessarily win in 2 turns, but the chances he will are just enormous, and I have no way to win on my following turn. So yeah, it's not looking great. He will use a switch, get into the Moltres fee, use Aura Burn to simply get some damage off, and now he has 3 powered attackers. I top deck that Rapid Strike Energy. If he wasn't able to bump my stadium, that would have been nice, because I would have been able to retreat and Gmax Rapid Flow again, but right now I'm just going to use it to retreat and try to not lose the game. But of course, if he simply finds the boss, I lose. But this does mean that if I am able to find an energy and an Inteleon on the following turn, I still win. But yeah, you're asking ADP to whiff the boss, and we both know that's not gonna happen. So he plays down his hand, he has a Crobat in hand, gets 6 cards, finds a Quick Ball. Yeah, he finds a Quick Ball, still has the Eldegoss in deck, meaning he will be able to retrieve the boss he played on the previous turn and take it from there. This opponent ended up going 3-3 in games. Yeah, well, GG's to him. And onto the following round, which was Eternatus.